Hi, I'm Jalen Rose, and welcome to the Renaissance Man podcast, proudly presented by the New York Post, a show where we cover trends in fashion, entertainment, current events, and everything in between. Our next guest is an Emmy nominated actress who started in a groundbreaking hit TV series, Pose. But if that weren't enough, she also is a singer. And I just heard the song. She got something to say. Da, da, da,
Hey,
da, da, da. It's fire. I checked it out, to be honest with you, before I started the show. Something to
thanks.
Say is out right now. She's coming for that Grammy, too. Please welcome
Yeah.
MJ Rodriguez.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you taking the time for joining me. So, where did you grow up? And when did you know
Um,
you had the gift for performing?
so I grew up in Newark, New Jersey. I had a good stint of my life that was in Jackson, New Jersey. I was raised there from 1 to about 7 years old, and then I moved right back to Newark, New Jersey, and my home roots. And I think that was the breeding grounds for performing arts and, you know, just becoming an artist in general. I went to New Jersey Performing Arts Center, trained by my godfather, who's also my vocal teacher for 11 years. And then just like went on from there, did Camp Broadway, did a whole bunch of things just to like really pursue my dream. So yeah, Newark, New Jersey is where it all started for me.
That's exactly where I was going. I was fortunate enough to be friends still to this day. Queen Latifah, Shakim, KG used to invite me each summer to his barbecue on 118. So I spent a lot of time in Newark. So what was it like for you growing up there?
You know, Newark had its ups and downs for me, obviously, because I'm a woman of the trans experience. But I mean, for the most part, it was nothing but love from Newark. I grew up in a space of strong Black people, and I had a great foundation with my mama, and my mom knew everybody around Newark. I knew everybody around Newark because we all grew up around each other. So it was beautiful. Like I said, there were times that I had, but that's just normal because every place has its crazy places. Like when I was in New York City, I would have some crazy things happen to me too. So that showed me that weird and crazy and sometimes bad things happen all around the world. But collectively, Newark is my hometown. I love Newark to death, and I'm always going to rep Newark until I die.
Absolutely. So who were some of the artists in whether acting or music that inspired you?
So as far as acting, and I'll say acting first because there's a lot of people that inspire me in music, but in acting, being that I didn't have a lot of trans women to look to in acting, I saw a lot of cis women like Angela Bassett and Holly Berry's and even the Nicole Kidmans. Like these were really high-end actresses that I really were inspired by, and they kept working. And I was like, I'm gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna be the actress that's working and that's doing big things. And as far as music though, I was raised on music all my life. My uncle, my mother raised me on music ever since I was zero. So you talking about Earth, Wind and Fire, you talking about Blue
Yeah.
Magic, we talking about Shaka Khan, Luther Vandross, we're talking about the Whispers, the
Mhm.
Spinners. My dad had me listen to the Spinners all the time. Teddy Pendergrass, a lot of great influences in my life. A lot.
So a lot of what you just named is something I complain about currently in music. You just named historic groups. What happened to the historic groups?
I know. You know what? Listen, I feel the same thing, same way, but I just saw something in an article which made me really happy. Puff Daddy is creating a complete label music division devoted around R&B music. So it's coming back. And he's a powerful man, a man who has a lot of money, and he also moves and shakes a lot. And I commend him on it, and I'm happy about it because I feel like there's not a lot of representation on true R&B
Mhm,
anymore. And which is fine. I'm a pop girl too. I love pop. I feel
mhm,
like my song is very, very rooted in R&B and pop.
mhm.
But I think there needs to be more light shined on that. So I hope artists like myself, Bruno Mars, and strong individuals like Puff Daddy make it happen so that we can keep this ball rolling because it's starting to happen quicker than I expected. And I truly believe R&B is about to come back, and I'm definitely going to make sure it comes back. And you were right. I'm definitely chasing that Grammy.
Let's
Chasing
get
it.
it. Let's get it. Diddy, you know what it is. Revolt TV. I'm pretty
Yep.
sure you watched the show. I'm gonna try to have him on one day. That's family right there. And I'm glad you told me that he was coming up with that because I didn't realize that that was even happening.
Yeah, it was in an article recently, and I found out from my mom.
But also, I wanted to ask you about this because if you search on YouTube, right, there's so many videos of you performing in the musical Rent or singing off Broadway. And like any performer or athlete or whatever, we get a chance if we have longevity to look back at old videos of ourselves. And we always say,
Mhm.
oh, why did I wear my hair like that? Why did I have my outfit like that? You know,
Mhm.
that's at least what I say about myself. But when you watch them, you know, does it make you feel very proud of how much you've grown since then?
Yeah, I love looking at my old videos. I love seeing myself at a stage where, a lot of people didn't see me. I always say it was my Holly Berry, stage where I was wearing my little shortcut.
No doubt, that was classic. Holly Berry, Anita Baker, all day.
Right, right. They was rocking them shortcuts. I was just like, that's me.
Be
But,
alone.
yeah. Oh, see, you know about it. You know about it. You watched Friday. You caught it. You caught it. But yeah, I love seeing all of those videos. That's why I haven't taken them down. A lot of girls of the trans community, they take those down because they feel like it could, inhibit them as a person. But me, I don't think it inhibits me. I think it makes me a bigger person and it makes me grow and people get to see the growth. And I'm very happy where I'm at right now. And I'm very glad where my music is taking me right now. And yeah, I'm just happy with it. So yeah, all I see is growth, and all I see is beauty in those beautiful old clips and the new ones now too.
See, that answer is actually the inspiration for this week's theme of the show. And check this out.
That's
The
up.
theme of this show is create the life that you want. Your
Yep.
character, Bianca in Pose, does exactly that. It's clear she wants to be a mother. So she goes out and adopts troubled LGBTQ plus youth and forms a family.
Yeah.
You went from being a theater kid, continually climbing and reaching, and now
Yeah.
you're the first trans woman to ever be nominated for an Emmy as a lead actress. Is this the life you saw for yourself?
Believe it or not, no, I did not see this. My body was just, I was having this conversation with my boyfriend yesterday. I was telling him, I was like, sometimes my body moves and my mind knows when to just say, this is a cliff. Are you going to jump? Maybe you should look over the cliff to see if there's water to jump and dive in first. But my body wanders, and I love the way my body wanders. So no, I didn't expect it. And at that time, when I was just auditioning like crazy, my body was just wandering autonomously and automatically because that's what it only knew how to do. And my mind was like, well, I'm just going to let her coast. Now, my mind is not letting me coast as much anymore. It's thinking as much as possible because obviously there are groups behind me that, I have to influence. So yeah, it's kind of surreal. I never thought that I would be in the category with all of these other amazing women that I get to share the space with. And it just goes to show that not only the Academy sees me, but the world sees me and they respect my womanhood, and I really pride myself on the woman who raised me because she really instilled womanhood inside of me. That's the woman in my life who showed me what womanhood is like. And that's why I get to move the way I get to move in the world, like how I do. And that's my mama, strong, Black ass woman. And I'm happy about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't see it for myself, but when it happened, I was just like, all right, well, here it is. I've wanted this for all my life. It's happening. So MJ, Michaela, you got to really go out here. You got to serve, you got to storm because it's a lot of people looking at you. It's not just your trans sisters out there, but it's the Black women out there that are looking at you too, because they daughters looking at you too. I got a lot of strong Black women. Their young babies are looking at me, talking about me to their mamas, and their mamas are proud of that. And I'm just like, yes, this is what I wanted. The Black love that I wanted to exhibit from my body, and that was given to me from my mama. I wanted people to see what that was like too, and it's happening. So yeah.
Tell us, and by the way, shout to your boyfriend. You made it,
Ah,
buddy. You got a shout out on the Renaissance Man podcast. You legit. You
Over here chilling
legit.
too, right?
You legit. Please tell me more about your relationship with your mother.
Yeah. So me and Miss Audrey Rodriguez, we are like as thick as thieves. She's my mother first, but
Mhm.
she's also my best friend. She's my sister. She's my cousin. She's every single thing to me. My mother has shown nothing but love to me, and my mother instilled a lot of love in me when it came to my arts. A lot of parents, it doesn't matter what kind of child you have in this world, when you are a starving artist, all parents worry because they never know if it's going to hit right.
Right.
And my mother never was like that. My mother was like, I'm going to facilitate my child's dream. And she did that from when I was a kid going to Camp Broadway all the way up until I was 19 years old. And I went to my first off Broadway show till now being an outstanding Emmy nominated actress.
Mm.
She's been nothing but support from me, along with my father and my second dad. Like I'm blessed.
As I mentioned in your intro, you have a single. And I
Yeah.
really like it. You know, when I was listening to it, I was like, I need some roller skates. You know what I mean? Got to be a
Right?
roll bounce type feel. You know, it's
Let me
called
find out that
something
you roller
Nice.
skate.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got the size 15. You know, I used to do that growing up a little bit. I can't skate backwards or whatever, but you know, it made me want to get out there. And I was really
You got that two-step
excited.
roller skate. You know, you just
Yeah,
be on a
exactly. Little two-step, little shoulder roll type of thing, you know. But how would you describe your sound as a musician? Is there anyone old or new school that you love to work with?
so there are a lot of people that I love to work with. I mean, I finally got the chance to work. He's my uncle, and I appreciate him. I call him my uncle. Verdine White, you know who he is.
Mm,
Um, I finally got to work with him. He really took part in this whole process, along with a guy named Neil Pogue, who I found out is my cousin,
wow.
um, and John Parrish, who's a drum player who played for Earth, Wind, and Fire, a whole bunch of people. So I got to work with one of the legends that I've always wanted to work with. But the people that I would love to work with down the line are like Chloe and Halle and Doja Cat
Big dog.
and
Yeah.
Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. These are new striving artists. They're strong Black artists, and they're making waves in the way they represent music, like how I'm doing myself. And I feel like we would just make great collabs together, especially Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. We would make some. I know for a fact that if I was performing next
Mhm.
beside them while they playing their drums and performing, and Anderson .Paak is on his drum, I know for a fact we would make crowds go crazy. So I would definitely hope and pray at some point to work with them, and that they're open to working with me. Because listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of men are not comfortable around me. I don't know why.
Mm.
Uh, I'm not. I don't think I'm intimidating at all. I think I'm actually a good girl. So I hope those barriers are broken down so that we can make some great music and perform together and get these people up. Because we in a time where we got to keep getting people up. We got COVID-19 going on. Got a lot of injustices going on. Ain't no time to be worrying about your feelings. It's time to help the people out there who don't even know how to deal with their feelings. So
Absolutely. And the people that's booking artists for the Super Bowl, y'all heard that.
all
Bruno
right, all
Mars,
right,
you know what I mean? MJ, we could do that. Anderson .Paak, versatile, you know what I mean?
right,
Dancing, getting the crowd involved. I can see
exactly.
that. You know, you got to see it and say it first before it actually takes place.
I
And
received that.
you touched on something that I want to make sure that I don't underestimate, because I'm enjoying my interview. I'm enjoying meeting you. And you said, wow, men feel uncomfortable around you. Like,
Yeah,
that is crazy. Like, when I saw you say that, it reminded me that I guess some archaic individuals still exist. So can you talk about, navigating that in all of the spaces that you endure on a daily basis?
Yeah, I mean, the navigation of that is me simply staying there rooted in who I am, not engaging in what they're throwing at me or what they're deflecting at me, but simply to stand my ground and not engage, to actually disengage and focus on myself and the people that are around me. It's sometimes nerve-wracking. It's sometimes scary as all hell because sometimes there are certain kinds of men that like to ignite you simply to get something out of you.
Mhm.
And I usually am just like, I don't got no time for that, bro. Like, I respect you, but can you leave me alone? I got work to do. You feel me? But
Right.
that's how I navigate it. I actually address it with love. I don't address it with aggression because that's not going to get anyone anywhere, especially with a man. I'm not trying to. I'm
Well,
look at me. I am not the kind of I'm a small girl. That's number one. I'm not trying to get dragged around nowhere. Also, I just want to I always want to keep the peace. So if my space of me being in the place is taking it up, I'm gonna stay there. It's up to you to be open enough to penetrate that space and be
yes.
like, I respect you. Or can I ask you some questions because I don't know about this? Ask me the questions. I'm open for it. But if there's aggression, stay your ass all the way over there.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I applaud your honesty about that and your strength because you mentioned earlier about like wanting to take chances. It reminded me of a quote, one of my favorite quotes by Martin Luther King is basically, faith is taking the first step without seeing the entire staircase.
Yep.
Right. And that's the position that you're now continuing to elevate. And the more you continue to have successes and be nominated for Emmys and what's going to happen with a Grammy, and you're on a Super Bowl with Puff and Bruno Mars and all of that, that kind of comes with it, right?
Yes.
And so how would you advise for people that want to do what we're doing for a living? Like, how do you navigate the turbulence that just happens on a daily basis that still allows you to not be distracted from your goals?
I have to realize that I'm human as well, and that there's education that I have, that there's a lot of education out there that I have not received. And I try to, or at least hope that other people would see that since I don't have all of the answers, that they don't have all of the answers too. And we both have to figure this out together. This is not just a one-way street.
Right.
And I feel like that's how I navigate. And, I mean, sometimes I'm a quiet person when I'm in a space, I'm very to myself, very classy, I keep it together. So sometimes it may be hard to come up to ask me a question or, but I still encourage people to ask me the questions and also challenge me to be educated as well, but not through like being reprimanded, just keeping the mind open and always just being willing to just see the person for who they are. My number one goal for the world, and I know I'm only one person, so this reaches a lot of people, but not obviously everybody around the world. But my goal is to let people understand that the human aspect, human existence in general, is the first thing before you are Black,
Yes.
before you are trans, before you're Asian, before you are Latino.
Yes.
Those are the trickle effects and all the other things that we have to deal with, and even the prejudices that come along with all of those things. But the first thing is the human existence. And are you willing to understand a person as a human first and then get to break down those sections of being Black and being Latina and being trans and also being a woman? Are you willing to do that? If you're not, because you don't have the education, do your education. So much out here. There's not only books and libraries anymore. There's Google. I can't. There's Google. There's Google. I can't believe I'm saying that. Like I used to be like, Google don't know everything.
And the Spinners and the Whispers didn't have Google when they was writing their songs and when they were recording their hits and creating their legacy. But I can't interview MJ Rodriguez and not talk about fashion. I was watching the BET Awards and you was trending for that white dress. I know you know it. Where does your love for fashion come from? And what are some of the places you love to shop?
Okay, so my love for fashion literally came from my house father. His name is Timothy J. Smart. He saw me when I was younger. This was when I was sneaking out, going to the balls when I was 14 years old in high school. And he was like, that's my daughter right there. And I was like, who, me? Being silly. And he taught me everything. He taught me everything from runway to voguing, everything. And I fell in love with fashion at that very moment. Took it back with me to school, and the rest was history. So I love designers like Versace, Gucci. I love Yves Saint Laurent. I love Louboutin. I love a red bottom. They hurt like hell, but
mutual.
You got to suffer for the fashion. I learned that from EJ Johnson. And yeah, I love shopping at those places. And I also love shopping at H&M's and Zara's. Like I don't limit myself just to designer clothes because there are some things out there that aren't designer clothes that fit just right. So I'm a big like I mix and match.
I Magic Johnson is my childhood idol, and I call him the Hall of Fame mogul. And
Yeah,
one of my favorite things to see on social media is when his family takes their boat vacation trip to Italy. And
yes,
I joke with him. Most people go on vacation for like a day, or I mean, like 3 to 5 days. They
not
go for
him.
a quarter. It's like 90 days. I'm like, I know that boat gotta cost at least $10 million. I know it does per
I
day
know.
to operate. And so you brought up EJ, and I'm a part of the family. So tell me about you guys' relationship and some of the lessons or things that you guys draw inspiration from for each other.
Well, and it's been a while since me and EJ actually spoke. I gotta like hit EJ up. I miss EJ. But me and EJ met first season of Pose actually at an event. And believe it or not, I saw EJ when I was doing Rent when I was 19 years old, but we didn't know each other at that time. I saw EJ in Bergdorf,
Mhm,
obviously, you
mhm,
know, and just in this nice, expensive fur black coat and just looking at diamonds. And I was like, I live for you. One day I'm gonna have the confidence to come and speak to you. And
mhm,
long story short, we met each other 10 years, 11 years down the line through Pose.
mhm,
And we just became like this. And I feel like the inspirations that we draw from each other is that EJ lives unapologetically.
mhm,
EJ does not care what anyone thinks. And EJ is also a business person.
mhm,
And I feel like and I'll speak for myself because I don't know what I've taught EJ. But I guess I'll say for myself, maybe possibly inspiration. I like to influence inspiration all around the world. It doesn't matter who you are.
mhm.
And I think EJ kind of drew from that as well. And that's why we became good friends. And I would say like family. Like I feel like we're that extended family. Like, you have that cousin that live all the way over in Alabama. You don't see him for about 3 years, but you
Correct.
see him again. And it start off right where it
On.
left off.
It is on. Like you never
Right.
lost a step, like you never missed a
Exactly.
beat.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Well,
that's me and EJ.
lastly, you've accomplished so much in what seems to be a short time, but for you clearly living it, it must seem like forever. What advice do you have for young artists who are grinding and hustling right now, trying to be seen?
Well, my advice would be number one, keep hustling until it hits. I hustled all my life. I was walking them concrete jungles every single day, being subjected to discrimination, derogatory, like slurs thrown at me every single day.
Mm,
And I still pumped because I knew something had to give. So I would say keep hustling. Never let your head sink below your shoulders. Always keep your head held high. And never let anyone tell you how to live your life. Live through perseverance, happiness, joy, liberation. Be respectful, be positive as much as you can be humble, show humility,
mhm.
and just storm the world.
Come
Know
on,
that no one can
come
stop
on.
you unless
I
you're
like
the
that.
only person that can stop yourself.
And PSS, please
PSS.
tell us where we can get the new music. Again, tell us about the new single. Tell
I
them
got
where
you.
they can get more material.
Yes. So something to say is out on all platforms. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Deezer, it's also on Apple. You can check it out on YouTube as well. The music video just released today, 8/12/21. I don't know if this is going to be,
Oh,
probably going to be afterwards, but check it out on YouTube. Ping those views. Make sure you share it as much as you can because I got more stuff that I want to give, and I need the help of my fans. The love of my fans is what's going to lift me up, and I make sure I do it for my fans and my family and my friends. So if
well,
y'all looking at it and sharing it, I'm good.
having fans is like building a house one brick at a time. And
Yep.
just so you know, You're going to have millions of people following you and millions of people supporting you. You just got one more in me. I
Thank you.
appreciate you taking the time for joining me. But
Of
before I
course.
let you get out of here, I have a rapid fire segment called
All right, let's do it.
Gone in 60 Seconds. You ready to do this, MJ Rodriguez?
I got this. I got this. I got it.
Got it. This is a tough one. Would you
Okay.
ever return to Broadway?
Yes, but in like I would say 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Planning is key. I say that about being the mayor of Detroit. Like 10 more years. You know, I ain't ready to do that just yet. Who's
Exactly.
your biggest style inspiration?
Andre Leon Talley.
I got to get hip to him. I'm gonna make sure after you just put me down on some game, I'm gonna make sure because I try to stay fly. I'm glad you said somebody I didn't know. See, that's what this is all about. Love it. Besides yourself, name your favorite on-screen TV mom. You know I got to give mom some love.
You got to. I feel like Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lewis has played so many mothers, and I would love for her to just play my mother because she reminds me of every mama that was in the 80s and the 60s.
I love that. I love that. What's the flyest item of clothing you've ever bought?
The flyest item of clothing I ever bought was Yves Saint Laurent heels.
I can't do those, but I can do those red bottoms just like you. And the lace ups,
you
they
can.
do good, but they kind of narrow at the toe. They be hurting the corns by the time I take them off. But it'd be worth it because they so fly.
They are though. Yeah, the men's shoes are nice. The men's shoes are real hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, indeed. And before I let you get out of here, one more question. If you could star as anyone in a biopic, who would it be?
If I could star as anyone in a biopic, it would be Robin from Robin. I think she's an anchor. The anchor Robin.
Robin, the anchor. Who is that?
She's on. Oh my God, this is gonna be horrible because I should know her last name.
Is it Robin Roberts?
Yes, Robin Roberts.
I love her. I got your back. Whatever you putting down, I'm picking up. I got you. Robin Roberts, ABC, Good Morning America, formerly at ESPN. She's a legend. I totally see that.
Right.
I totally see that. And you know, a lot of imagery is seeing yourself in a lane that you know is a reality. I thank you very much for taking the time.
Anytime.